In this video, I found the weirdest Microsoft Flight Sim mods I could find, and we're going to be playing with each of them and rating how good they are on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's get right into it. Number 1, we have the Flying Squadrons Mario Kart Glider. I would like to say this mod is absolutely beautiful, and the link to it will be in the description if you guys want to download any of these mods. I really like this one. I think it's quite fun to fly. I've messed around with it a couple of times. It's quite well modelled. You can see, I think it's just a model from the actual game that they've turned and coded to make it work with Flight Sim. So we're at RAF Fairford, going to see if we can do what manoeuvres we can do in the flying Mario Kart. We're going to go for it. Pulling down the runway currently. She does pull up nearly instantly. I would say that's like quite nice. I feel like we could have had a bit more time on the ground just to get some more speed. But yeah, it works a bit like a glider. We can see the crowd of people down at the Royal International Air Tattoo 2026. I know we're a bit off, but I'm dreaming. Yeah, we're going to do a loop around the base and then we'll come and land this and we'll move on to the next mod. So I'll see you guys when it's time for landing. Here we go. We're going to come in for landing and then we're going to do a look at what happens when you go into cockpit view. So we're going to start reducing throttle. Hope this can land on this runway. I really hope it does because Fairford's quite a big runway and this aircraft is relatively small. So here we go. And absolute, what on earth? I was going to say absolute butter. I don't know if you can call that I don't know what you can call that. We somehow ended up in the ground. So I'll be back once we're back on. There we go. We're going to do a cockpit review now. So obviously going into cockpit view, I don't know what much I expected. We can see the controls and then we can turn around and we see Mario's big squishy face. Yeah. So that's aircraft 1. What would I give this aircraft? I'd say it's very fun to fly. I think it's decently well modelled. It has a couple of things I would thought, but yeah, I think it's decently well modelled. I will give this a 7 out of 10. So here we go. We have the second mod of this video. We have the flying donut. I think this donut's based on the one from The Simpsons. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know where the ideas came to put 2 engines on it, but we can see they're not even attached. Not even attached to the actual donut. So I don't know how they're flying, but they are. And then, yeah, none of them are attached. I don't have very high hopes for this aircraft so far already. So yeah, here we go. We're going to begin flying and see how well it takes off. View when you're flying it without the cockpit, I want to say absolutely horrific. And this is the view from the side of the cockpit. It's nothing. You literally get nothing. So yeah, we are going to zoom out. So here we go, this view, not too happy with this aircraft so far. It takes off like a dream though. And yeah, I don't... Look, instant stall. Okay. Yeah, I think this aircraft is probably going to get like a 2 out of 10. I did not enjoy flying this. Look. This is all you really need to know. I don't particularly like the model. So on to the next mod. Here we are on mod 3 of 5. We have the flying pizza. I don't really know what to say about this, apart from the fact it's a pizza that apparently can fly. Has no engines though. Well, what do we think of the toppings? We have pepperoni, mushroom. What is the gold meant to be? Is that meant to be cheese? And then, yeah. I'm not a big fan of mushrooms, but let's go. Let's take this baby off and see how well it handles in the air. Go, taking off. I have no clue where the engines are coming from and it's levitating on the ground. It's speeding up quite quickly. That's, yeah. I believe that it can fly. So here we go. And now we have into the takeoff. So we're going to fly up a bit. We're going to gain a bit of altitude. And then we're going to do a cockpit review. So here we go. This is better than the flying donut. We're just on top of the pizza. I don't know how I feel about this cockpit. I don't know really what I was expecting from a flying pizza. But yeah, better than the donut still. We're going to pull it around and we're going to try and land. This thing has no gears. So yeah, I don't really know how we're going to do this, but we will. I believe in myself. I'm that good of a... Watch. Absolute butter this landing. Bang. Still fresh. At your door. Out. What would I give this out of 10? I don't think it's as good as the Mario Kart, but it's way better than the other flying food we had. So, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. On to the second to last mod, and to give you a clue, it is another famous flight sim YouTuber's head. Here we go. For the second to last mod of this video, we have Swiss 001's head as an aircraft. Now, what do I think of this head? I don't know if I can call it an aircraft. I think it captures his detail beautifully. Like, look at that. Look, you can just go into his nose if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to do that. That would be a bit weird. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could. Anyway, we're going to try and take off and see how this aircraft handles. Plus, we're going to do the cockpit review. So let's get right into it. So, here we go. We're going to start the takeoff of the Swiss 001 head. And from what I'm noticing, his head's a bit like a helicopter, I think. But yeah. Here we go. I don't like flying helicopters in this game. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. This mod is brilliant. I'm going to check out the cockpit review once we've landed safely. And look at that nice smooth landing. Anyway, let's do the cockpit review. It's just his hair. That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. You just sit on his head. If this was any other YouTuber or aircraft, it would not be ranked that high. But because it's Swiss 001's head, and I think it's quite comedic, I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10. Also, I think if I was better at flying helicopters, this would be a brilliant, fun thing to fly. But I'm terrible at flying helicopters. So yeah, on to the fifth and final aircraft of this video. For the fifth and final aircraft of this video, we have the aircraft that was in the thumbnail of this video, so I did not clickbait you guys. Here we go. We have the Fortnite Battle Bus. This mod is probably my favourite out of these lot, as I've flown it already. I think it's actually really well modelled for what it is, for it being a free mod on flightsim.to. Really well modelled. Doesn't come with any livery, sadly. Someone should make a livery pack for it. But yeah, I like this aircraft. I think it flies really well, but I need to show you guys that and prove it to you guys. So let's hop into it. So here we go. We're going to start taking off the Fortnite Battle Bus. Fortnite was one of those games I think we all have played. I don't know if you can call it classic. The new seasons aren't the best, but when it was peak. And now you can simulate dropping people down into rough places like Birmingham, because who wants to go to Birmingham? But here we go. Takes off really nicely. It gets to a nice speed actually. I did not expect it to be the fastest aircraft of this video. To land, and then we will be doing the cockpit review as all of you guys like, and then my final rankings for this video. So here we go. Oh god, butter! Look at that smooth, delicious landing. Parked right in a field. Yeah, we're gonna stop this aircraft, and now we're gonna do the famous cockpit review. So this is the cockpit you get for the Fortnite Battle Bus. You don't get the rest of the Battle Bus. No, that would be too much work. But you get a wheel, and you get all your other stuff. I think that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That's just a screen. That's just a thing. Thomas built buses. So Thomas, this is your Battle Bus, buddy. Come and get it back. But yeah, 9 out of 10 mod. I think, for the fact it's free, it's a really fun aircraft to fly. It's actually beautifully modelled. I think it needs a bit of work, possibly an interior. That'd be the only recommendation I had. But yes, I think this is my favourite mod of the video. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been my first ever flight sim video on this channel. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, and we'll be doing weekly flight sim videos until I can get back to spotting, and after that it would be spotting whenever I can. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.